Imagine living in a world where the girls rule the planet and the men are just treated like second-rate trash. Well, for this dude right here, it's his reality because he was unlucky enough to spawn in a universe where the gender roles are reversed. To make matters worse, the strongest and most powerful are all women with not a single guy in the rankings, so it's like watching JJK and your bro Gojo is not even in the top 20. Anyways, this is Kang, and he's a special one because instead of bottom fragging in Valorant like all the other guys, he mid-frags since all the girls are the carries now. But one day, his life took a turn when a level 999 monster appeared out of nowhere and it literally ate his parents in one gulp. Unable to do anything as he was stricken with fear, he was forced to watch on as he waited for the army of girls to stop the rampaging dragon, but unfortunately, they were too slow. So now bro is on a mission to infiltrate the army they call the Hunters, the ones designated to stop high-level monsters from destroying the world. However, the catch is that almost every hunter here are all girls, so his odds of getting accepted is the same as someone trying to find an Asian person in the middle of nowhere in the African boonies. And even if Sung somehow awakens and gets accepted to become an actual one like Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter, his rank will be limited to that of a D-rank hunter with no hope of promotion. Regardless, as soon as he was able to, he enrolled in the most prestigious hunter school in the world named Daehan High School, but on his first day of school, bro quickly realized he was the only male student. For most dudes, this would be a dream come true, but since the gender roles are reversed here, his life became a living hell on day one as he was routinely targeted by every girl in the school, and not in a good way. Luckily for him though, one of his childhood friends, Hayon, attended the same high school, and she was literally the only one that was nice to him, so she tried her best to protect him whenever she can. She basically treated him like a younger brother, non-sussy Alabama style, and most girls were forced to run away from her, as she is one of the highest ranking awakened students in the entire school body. But whenever Hayon was not around to defend him, bro endured non-stop harassment in class, in the hallways, even in front of the teachers, since all of them were all girls looking like they want a piece of his banana tree plantation like a true sussy baka. Nevertheless, our boy shrugged off every type of attack heading his way like an absolute sigma male as he kept his eyes only on his one goal, and that is to awaken his powers before he graduates, or all of this would be for nothing. Fast forward 2 years after his high school graduation, it's sadly revealed that bro did not awaken any special abilities even after shedding blood and tears, so now he wastes his days away waking up in the afternoon just to play Roblox and Minecraft hardcore. But one day, right before Sung was about to eat breakfast at dinner time, he got a text alert from another number that is not his usual DoorDash delivery picture, causing him to get confused as no one ever messages him. Initially, he thought it was one of those Chinese AI scam messages that pretends to be a single lady that wants a boyfriend, but much to his surprise, he instead got a message congratulating him for being chosen as an awakener. After accepting the message, bro tries to see if he gained super strength or some kind of special ability, but after half an hour of trying to figure out if something changed within him, he realized he gained no powers. As such, bro began to think he just got trolled again, but upon picking up his phone, he gets barraged by unlimited info, telling him that he has evolved into a sussy desire manager for female hunters. And as he continues to scroll through to find out more about his new job, Pro cannot believe how he wasted years of his life away just for him to become a support toy for the female hunters that have already awakened. Nonetheless, Sung is able to figure out that in exchange for being a support main using his powerful Asian rocket ship, he will be able to get stronger and gain abilities himself every time he is able to complete a sussy Baka mission. Anyways, now that our boy is a beginner-level awakener, he was able to find his skill and attributes page, which showed how he has 3 new skills under sword technique, fire magic, and healing magic, but every single one was at level 0. So the only way for him to use his brand new skills is to gain 100 awakening points, but to do that he tapped on the search for nearby hunters tab, which displayed a bunch of girls meaning a rice cake smashing, which would give him a bunch of points. Now that our boy has a goal to live for again, Bro suits up and gets ready to touch grass for the first time in months as he now thinks he can become a top-ranked hunter using this new method, even though this is the sussiest thing he has ever heard of. Regardless, after getting blinded due to him not being used to seeing actual sunlight, Bro took the wrong turn out of his apartment and ended up getting closer to a huge heart on the map, which would give him a whopping 80 points if he is able to successfully complete the mission. But as he stands there trying to figure out who or where it could be, the heart kept getting closer to him like some kind of Call of Duty killstreak. But then suddenly, our boy started to hear boss music. Eventually, out of the corner of Sung's eyes, he noticed Hayon walking towards him, where she then happily ganks him by teleporting forward, eagerly asking him what he is doing outside in the real world today, since that is very unlike him. After discovering that the high-level hunter worth 80 points is actually his own childhood friend, Bro began to sweat more than me when I am on the toilet trying to send a monster one out, since he got greedy and accepted the mission before he even knew who it was. Luckily for our boy though, Hayon quickly orders him to head back inside his apartment as she is super worried Bro got a loose screw since she knows Bro never heads out. As such, she heads back inside with him to make sure he is okay. As soon as both of them got back inside, Hayon rushed to the bathroom to change into more comfortable clothes, but let's just say that if our editor zoomed out just a tad bit more, then those comfortable clothes would totally be blurred. Nevertheless, the two end up enjoying a meal that our boy ended up burning, but somehow Hayon looked like she liked all of it. So after finishing it all, she offers to go do the dishes while trying her best to show off all of her hunter assets. With Hayon now busy doing the dishes in a very sussy position that our boy can see from the dining table, Bro starts looking like he is letting his intrusive thoughts win as he has to weigh the pros and cons of using his rocket ship against her planet Venus. Of course, Sung tells himself that he needs to do this in preparation for him to become a real man powerful enough to stand on his own, since his only childhood friend is worth over 80 points, and that is enough to give him a huge lead. However, as he imagines absolutely destroying Hayon over and over again, Bro keeps staring at her crazy fresh bakeries in real time, but it dawns on him how could he even destroy her if she is currently way more powerful than him. Suddenly, with Sung continuing to mull over whether or not he should activate clapping monarch mode, he gets a flashback to high school where he spills the beans to Hayon about how much he hates large watermelons on the opposite gender. Usually, most people love them, but our boy is a weirdo since he hates how he constantly runs into them at school, so upon him revealing the secret about him being more of a bakery fan, Hayon smirks and attempts to show off her gifted bread factory. Unfortunately for her though, Sung did not get the hint that she was interested in being more than friends with him after she tried to flashbang him with her double-deckers, since Bro thought it was just by accident, so she just assumed she was friend-zoned. Now back in the present, after remembering all the small details between him and Hayon over the years, he took it as a sign that she might be into him, so it looks like Bro is about to be on the move as his dragon fruit is going to be awakened. Meanwhile, as Sung tries to garner enough courage to actually begin his quest in rice cake destroying Hayon, she ends up asking our boy if she could stay the night, since it has been a while since they last hung out together. However, midway through Hayon trying to be sneaky with how she was wording things since she knows Bro is clueless, she ends up getting surprise ganked by Sung with the force of the entire Sussy Fire Nation fleet as he grabs hold of the fruits in front of him. She then loudly gasps as she thought a monster might have appeared in the room, but it turns out to just be our boy Sung, so she begins profusely blushing since she cannot believe what is happening to her right now. Bro then pulls out the Alpha Skibbity Rizzler playbook by denying how he hates ripe watermelons, claiming that he secretly loves them as big as they can be, even bigger than those Remax hot air balloons, so he basically struck gold with Hayon. He also makes up the lie that he was too embarrassed to tell her this entire time about how he felt about her, but now that 80 points is on the line, Bro channels his inner Rizzler and begins pumping out compliments about her left and right. 2 minutes later, Bro decides to initiate Protocol Supreme Sussy backup by proceeding to unleash Hayon's Labrador puppies onto the unsuspecting world, where they then instantly plop out into the open, allowing our editor to totally marvel at them for the next few minutes. Anyways, with Hayon's Cracker Barrel double-deckers now on full display, our boy goes full hand-eye coordination mode as he attempts to figure out what to do with the Invisible Clothes DLC unlocks, since he has never gone this far before. Now the crazy part here is that Hayon almost passes out from Sung just playing around with a pillow like clouds before him. So you already know things are about to get even crazier since Hayon's water fountain is already leaking massively. With the leak getting bigger by the second, a pool starts to form on the floor, causing Hayon to turn around to ask Bro to stop, since she knows if they continue any further on his quest, then there would be no way back as normal friends. Although it's clear as day she has been hoping for all of this to happen for most of her life, she still feels a bit guilty though, as this is going to be her first time ever in a sussy 1v1 duel. Nonetheless, our boy reassures Hayon that no matter what happens today, even if she goes freak mode 9000 on him during their duel, he will always be there for her, as he knows hunters need a way to release all that pent-up power due to their work. He also tells her that they will always be friends forever, and since real friends help each other out during their times of need, this is perfectly acceptable for them to continue on, as this is a two-way street. For Hayon, she will be able to unleash a part of her that should have been uncaged many years ago that will help her rise through the ranks, while for Sung, he will be able to get stronger and become a true awakened. Regardless, after finally accepting their sussy fate, Hayon agrees to not hold back her powers anymore, but as soon as she said that, our boy's dragon down below ripped a hole in his plate legs, so they quickly ran to the nearest bedroom. After repositioning like a top 100 player, our boy's eyes disappeared as he is able to make Hayon cross the finish line twice before they even got to the real cultured anime action type of beat. So after Hayon collapsed onto the closest bed frame after hitting the finish line, clothes began to fly off across the room as Bro readies himself to make sure he is able to capture all 80 points, and maybe even more as long as things goes according to his plan. However, it already seems like he has hit the ball out of the park when heart eyes began to appear on Hayon's face, even before he got to use his grilled cheesy sausage against her buttered piece of bread, all thanks to some water-breathing kiss technique. Shortly after connecting some powerful face-to-face abilities, Hayon tells him to hurry up and bring out his dragon longsword so they could finally get the real show on the road, totally worried that they might not have enough time. Bro then looks at the clock and sees that it is still early on in the evening, so he orders her to just sit back, relax, and enjoy since they basically have unlimited time together unless the world is abruptly going to end soon. Nevertheless, when it was finally time to show off our boy's Taco Bell beef burrito supreme, Hayon goes wild as she did not expect his burrito to be as large as it was, causing her to mumble about how much she loves burritos, especially the gigantic ones. As such, Hayon goes on the offensive and proceeds to take over our boy's guiding missile with absolute ease, basically making it so that it accidentally leaks some milky fuel on her due to Hayon's intense suction cup force she placed on it. After almost crossing the finish line himself, he had to stop Hayon from making him do some explosion jutsu by accident, so instead, he decided to return the favor by plopping her down back on the bed just so he could eat some vanilla-flavored cake. A few minutes later, he finished his plate of cake, but he almost drowned due to how much frosting there was, so Hayon pushed him away since she was really wanting Bro to start his invasion of her tropical island as soon as possible. Since this is also his first time summoning an offensive battering ram, Bro is not sure of what to do, but he says screw it and proceeds to drive it towards the epicenter of Hayon's defensive gates, busy wondering if it even can fit in her city. But as soon as he finally found the entrance to Hayon's inner city walls, Bro activated his ultimate called Unstoppable Force, allowing him to literally slip through his Lego, which instantly caused a reaction from his opponent. Now that the two have finally begun rice cake destroying, the sussy turns when Hayon abruptly tells our boy that she has changed her mind as she does not want to continue with their quest, apparently due to his Korean corn dog being too powerful. However, our boy knows she is making up an excuse since he was easily able to slip his Legos through the cracks, so he ends up calling her out for it, causing her to admit that she feels a bit shy as she never expected to go this far in their expedition. Hayon then attempts to pull out the Uno reverse Rizzler card on our boy, asking him to wait for a second as she needs time to calculate whether or not this is worth it for her to continue on as a high-level adventurer. Unfortunately for her though, Bro is immune to any kind of magical effects when he is under the status called Chad mode, and upon activating it, his eyes disappear while all his muscles begin to get bigger as if he is some kind of Mr. Olympia. After evolving into his final form, Hayon becomes speechless as she could not fathom her childhood friend becoming a true man right before her eyes, but little does she know Bro is doing all of this just so he could gain awakening points. Anyways, after grabbing hold of Hayon's hands, our boy stares into her soul and asks her to give him her precious Virgo card, to which she happily accepts with no hesitation, and upon hearing that Sung turns on beast mode to go on the attack. One blink later, Bro unleashed a torrent of manly power that would devastate any opponent even the most experienced and skilled ones would find difficult to handle, since it turns out he has been hiding a Prince Behemoth all this time without anyone knowing. And just like that, Hayon's life turned upside down as she repeatedly gets defeated at the hands of her childhood friend. And let's just say the neighbors will probably file a noise complaint after these two are done with their duel. In the end, after making Hayon pass out from the sheer force of his rocket constantly going off like Team Rocket blasting off again, a pop-up notification appeared on top of her head, which showed a heart and the number 80 within it. However, instead of gaining just 80 points, it is revealed that he gained a bonus 15, which equals 95, just because he was able to reach the bonus condition with his opponent, which meant he totally conquered the battle. Fast forward to the next morning, Bro breaks his streak of waking up either in the late afternoon or evening as he accidentally wakes up at 8 a.m. in the morning, totally wiped out and exhausted after shooting his explosion jutsu a couple times. He then notices that he has 22 unread messages from someone, so after further investigation, Bro found out that it was Hayon busy telling him how much she loves him and that she will be coming back soon for some more rice cake smashing. But after getting excited to gain more easy points from his friend, he gets another pop-up notification informing him that going after Hayon over and over again would result in earning fewer points and even point reductions. Regardless, Bro decides to allocate every free point he received to his swordsmanship skills, so it leveled it up to 3, which now makes him a real hunter hungry for more power, so he tells himself he does not mind having to look for more opponents to battle.